Hi everyone, just a little video about the state of the driving instruction training over the last little bit. I'm not sure whether this is just the case in Liverpool, but we've got problems finding Part 3 tests and Part 2 tests for the ADI course in Liverpool. I know there are some examiners are filled, but the knock-on effect has been absolutely colossal. For example, I've got one instructor, potential driving instructor, who's going to do a test over in Blythe in Newcastle on the other side of the country. He's driving over there the day before, staying in the hotel, and then doing his test, and then driving home. It's ridiculous. Some people have been waiting for 5 months in excess of that. You may think, well, it's okay, it's not so bad, but let's just think for a second that you get 2 years for this qualification process. And this qualification process, 2 years, starts from the date that you pass your Part 1 exam. So Part 1 theory, day you pass it, you've got 2 years to complete the other two parts of the exam. Part 2 driving, Part 3 teaching. Now, you've got 3 attempts at Part 2 and 3 attempts at Part 3. Let's just do the quick sums for a second. So, if potentially people are going to have 3 attempts at each exam, and they're 5 months each, we could have one after a 5-month period, and then don't forget the waiting list is 5 months. So once you pass your Part 1, you can then book your test. So we've got maybe 5 months from then, and say if they fail, we've got another 5 months, another fail, another 5 months. That's 15 months. You've then got a period of training which you can fit in even before people have passed Part 2, but the issue is with it that it needs to be done within a 6-month period if you're applying for a trainee license, which most people do. So we can't do loads of Part 3 training until we know this PDI is going to
exit to the left to M57 towards Bulldogs.
Let's just turn my sat nav off. So yeah, we can't do too much Part 3 training until we know that the PDI is going to get through, and that's an impossibility. So what do you do with that situation? So we've got 15 months. We then do some Part 3 training. If people do 2 sessions a week, that's 4 hours a week, which I would probably say would be ideal. You could get it done in a week. I did my 40 hours in a week and probably took away 20% of actually what I needed. So the training for me, for best practice and make sure the PDIs are prepared well enough, is 4 hours a week. So that's another 10 weeks. So we're talking 17.5 months. Your trainee license lasts for 6 months, but again, unfortunately, the waiting list, I've had people have to wait for, again, 5 or 6 months to get a Part 3 date. And the issue that I've had, and it was last week was the first week in July, I had 5 people have Part 3 tests cancelled. Now 3 of those people are coming up to a stage where they've had 1 attempt at Part 3, that's all they've had, they've been unsuccessful, and they're on the 2nd trainee license, and that 2nd trainee license has run out, and the 2-year period is running out. I've had 1 person whose 2-year period has already run out, and he hasn't been able to get a test. Well, he had 1 go at it, and again, 2nd one booked in, that's alright, that's luckily beyond his 2-year period. Jeez, how fast is this van going round here? I'll back off and let him just tuck it in. He's tonking it a bit. Anyway, so yeah, the big problem is, and the big problem that I'm getting at, and it's the reason for me doing this video, is loads of people are doing this particular course, and then they're sometimes, I don't advise people ever to do this, but they're putting all their eggs in one basket, which effectively they're giving up the job and starting a new career and putting everything into this new career. Just getting out of the way of that one as well. It's a good job I did as well. I think he was leaving it a bit late. So they're starting a new career and then suddenly finding that the end of this 2-year period is up. They've not been able to complete the qualifying process through no fault of their own, and then what they have to do is start the whole qualifying process from the start. So, a little bit of advice to anyone doing this course or thinking to do this course at the minute. You need to find out the waiting times for part 2 and part 3 tests in your particular area. If honestly they're the same as they are in Liverpool, if you do the maths and you do the quick sums with the dates, there are going to be some people who aren't going to be able to complete, and I don't want people not wasting their money but shelling out sometimes £2,000 or £3,000. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of effort, it's a lot of money to then be in a stage through no fault of their own, purely on the DVSA shoulders, and then not being able to qualify. Be interested to know what it's like in your area. Please let me know. Just keep your fingers crossed that some more test dates do come available and the examiners aren't just going to keep on getting a repeat sick note, which is an assumption on my part, but it looks as though it's the case because some of these tests have been cancelled at real short notice. The added stress that it's putting onto people isn't ideal. A third trainee license is going to be refused, although there is a little part to it where you take it to a tribunal and they allow you to continue to teach. But all this adds to the stress and the pressure again, which is super unfair on the person taking the test because it's through no fault of their own, and that is honestly, again, it's just on the DVSA shoulders. So please let me know what it's like in your area. If you are in Liverpool, are you suffering the same problems at the minute? Keep safe everyone, I'll see you soon.